Hi, Jim here, and you're listening to the Honest Filmmaker podcast, career advice from people in the business. This week, I'm speaking to fight choreographer Brahim Chab. Brahim has worked as both a stunt performer and fight choreographer alongside Jason Statham, Jackie Chan, and most recently opposite Dev Patel in Monkey Man, where he starred and choreographed the fight sequences in the movie. I talked to Brahim about how he got started as a stunt performer, how he evolved into a fight choreographer. He gave me some tips for new people starting out. And of course, we talked about Monkey Man and his experience on that movie. Enjoy. So, I've got on IMDb that you started off as a stunt performer. How did you
Yep.
get into that originally?
Well, originally, I started doing stunts because I saw like a Jackie Chan movie called First Strike, directed by Stanley Tong, when I was 14 years old. And then I started doing martial arts. I started with Aikido, karate, and I followed that by tricking. Then, I didn't really want to study much. After I graduated high school, I went to law school to become a lawyer. And after 6 months there, I was like, man, I can't take this thing anymore. I should basically do what I always wanted to do, which is do movies.
Mm.
So from there, I kind of like took a leap of faith, and that was it.
That was it, straight in. And which country were you in when you first started doing your stunt stuff?
I first started when, in Paris, where I'm originally from.
Mm.
I started doing very, very small stuff, like kind of like TV shows and like, like live shows and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Then after a while, maybe like 1 or 2 years of that, I was trying to get into the stunt business in France, but at the time it was very locked. Like it was
Mm.
very, very hard to get any opportunities because, France is not really known for martial art movies and all that. So a friend of mine took us to Thailand to join a casting for Ong Bak 2.
Hmm.
So we came there like with maybe like 6, 7 friends of mine, and we did the casting. Didn't get anything, but that was like a taste of kind of like doing casting. We met Tony Jaa and all that, and I kind of like saw an opportunity uh, in Thailand at the time, because at the time Thailand was kind of like the new Hong Kong for
Mm.
action movies at the time. Like a lot of Western productions were coming to Thailand at the time to shoot. So it was a great spot to gain experience and kind of like for someone with who wants to start to get great opportunities. So I did most of the my my early years. Most of my work was actually in Thailand. That's
Mm.
where really I got into the stunt business, working in Thailand at first.
Sure. And then how long was it before you were then choreographing scenes?
I would say I moved to Thailand in 2007, and I was already being a stunt coordinator and a fight coordinator in Thailand by 2012. So it only took me like 5 years because I
Mm.
was very lucky to meet a gentleman called Tim Man.
Hmm.
And basically, what he did, he was already an established stunt performer in Sweden, and he was coming to Thailand to shoot sometime do movies in Thailand. So I was very lucky that he allowed me to assist him on certain movies that he was doing. So by thanks to that, I could learn how he would choreograph fights, how he would shoot them, how he would edit them. So I would learn from him any way I can, how he would plan the shots, how he would plan safety, how he would conduct himself on set. So everything I learned from him, basically. Uh, by 2010 and 2011, I was already working as his assistant, and then by 2012, I already started to do my own projects, which were small movies first, like
Yeah.
very low budget movies.
Yeah. So what I'm taking away from that is if you're new to this industry, obviously you've got to have your skills to start off with, but finding
Yes,
that mentor figure who's going to help guide you is
yes.
really important, it sounds like.
That's very important. Like whoever you choose to associate in this business is key to your future success.
Mm.
Um, I would say, if I didn't meet Team Man at the time, I don't think my career would be the way it is right now because he really, really gave me like a lot of knowledge, a lot of opportunities, and also he showed me how to conduct myself on set, which is something that is very important, how you conduct yourself on set, on and off camera, and also how to use social media because a lot of times people can really sabotage themselves using social media the wrong way.
Hmm.
It's a very small industry, the action film industry. So whoever, like I said, you're gonna associate with, it's key to your success. I was very fortunate as well to have a very, very good friend and mentor on my side called Mike Leader. He really, really did help me uh, get opportunities. And again, without, I would say, Mike and Tim, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, it's a very, very, I'm very blessed to have been able to work with people like that.
Yeah. 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 And so I've heard the story many times now. It's popped up on social media about Dev Patel not being
Yeah.
able to find, get his stunt crew over, and they got you in last minute. What was that like
Yeah.
from your side? How did it happen for you?
Well, how it happened, it was like super quick. And bear in mind that all that was during COVID lockdown. And I'm not talking about the COVID lockdowns from 2021. I'm talking like 2020, fresh COVID lockdowns. Everyone is petrified and scared of COVID. And then I basically, Dev got in touch with a producer in Indonesia, a line producer. And the line producer got in touch with Mike Leader. Then Mike Leader suggested me and I would say maybe two other people. So he told me to send my stuff over YouTube. That's where the thing, like they found me on YouTube, comes
Yeah.
from. So I sent my stuff over on YouTube. And I think there's this previous that I've done a couple of years ago from 2016, where I'm fighting like a bunch of guys
Mm.
in a gym. And that previous is the one that really got the attention of Dev. He always mentioned it to me. He always said like I want the movie to be just like this previous.
Hmm.
So then I had a meeting with Dev first, with his producer partner. Then I had a meeting as well with Thunder Road producers, Braun producers, and from there I was like, okay, well, this is what I need. I need a camera operator for my previous, and I need two stunt performers. Okay, great. Now we need to get to Indonesia, right? So Indonesia was not giving any visas because the country was completely closed. So here I am going to the Indonesian embassy in Bangkok, knocking on their doors without any appointment. I'm like, I need a visa. They're like, no, you cannot get a visa. So here we are talking with uh, somebody at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Indonesia. Okay, give them the phone. Okay, here they want to talk to you. Then from there, the door opened.
Mm.
They were like, give us your passports. We give them our passport. They're like, okay, come back at 2 p.m. and you'll get your passport back. From there, it was like kind of like a roller coaster, like a trip that is supposed to take 2 days, a trip that is supposed to take 2 hours, took us 2 days to complete. Quarantine, lockdowns, getting to the island, um, not being able to go out for 5 months, only studio,
Mm.
hotel. It was like Devo said in all these interviews he's doing, it was like a real, real, real tour de force. It was like
Mm.
absolute madness, catastrophes, one after one. A gaffer died. It was like
Oh
complete
God.
madness.
Yeah. 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 That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
looking, so I obviously the film we're recording this now. The film hasn't come out in the UK yet, so I haven't had an opportunity to see it. It looks amazing. With that film, what was kind of the most challenging fight sequence to choreograph?
I would say the most challenging one was the restaurant section. The restaurant section was like a very, very, very hard sequence to choreograph
Mm,
because we have in the bathroom sequence we only have three people fighting, so it's very, very limited. We don't have extras and all that, you know. But in the restaurant, we have a bunch of extras. We have to coordinate how they're gonna run. We had like special effects going on. We had like the stunt guys. We had Dev doing all the fighting, and we were very limited with the time because a sequence that we were supposed to have like I think 5 days to shoot. We ended up having only 3 days to shoot, and then we had only one day to shoot some of the supporting characters. It was a big, big, big challenge also because we had only a handful of stunt guys the whole project.
mm,
So bear in mind we have like God knows how many fight scenes in this movie. But then we can only use a certain amount of stunt guys because we are not allowed to bring other stunt guys. So I had to always remember who did I use, coordinate with the makeup artist, the hairdressers, and completely change the looks of these guys. I mean, some of these guys truly hate me because I had to cut their hair. I had to make a guy look bald. The next day, I put a wig on his head. This guy grow a beard for 5 years. Well, good luck. Good, good news. You're gonna cut it now.
no.
So it was like absolute madness to coordinate all this.
Yeah.
And like that was the most challenging one, I would say, was the restaurant one. Yes.
Right. And it looks to me like during the film, in a lot or in some of the fight sequences, he's wearing a mask. So
Yeah.
is that him the whole time? How much percentage is he doing that stuff?
Well, like a lot of it is dev. Like I
Mm,
would say like 95% of the fighting stuff is dev. But
mm,
let's say like some of the stuff on the ring, for example, we had a stunt double for him
mhm,
from my team. Because like in the ring, we get a lot of contacts. He's having like a tank top, so like a lot of the hits can damage him. And also like if you watch the movie, the ring fights are brutal. There's a
mm,
lot of like the style for the ring fights. We wanted to give like a lot of like wrestling claustrophobic sense. Also, he's getting tossed out of the ring. So yeah, we had a stunt double for that kind of stuff. Let's say also for the tuk tuk, there was a stunt double there.
mm,
But let's say the fighting, like as far as I'm concerned, I was there. There are all the stuff for the fighting. It's Dev himself. We don't use face replacement. We don't use any cheap shots from behind, hiding him. A lot of the shots, as you see in the movie, they are not like quick cuts. You can see a wide angle of him doing the stuff. And credit to him, and he came to train every day. He's the director of the movie, he's the producer, he's the main actor, and now he's a stuntman as well, doing all these fight scenes. So he came every day, every morning before he would go and do his other duties, like his directing duties and all that. So he would come, train a bit with us. Today we would be like, okay, let's rehearse the restaurant fight scene. Okay, he would go step by step. Okay, tomorrow let's do the bathroom. Okay, today let's do the brothel. Like
mm.
we would have like every day would come and rehearse. But hats down to him, man. He delivered everything. Like honestly, like I was surprised when he did all of that by himself.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm sure you were because looking at his career before this movie, there he
yeah.
does serious drama. There's no way I thought he had an action film in him, but the stuff you see in the trailers just looks amazing.
Yeah, like the stuff he pulled. I mean, let's be honest, I always loved his movies when I got called to do the project. I was very, very intrigued because I was like, this is an actual Oscar winner actor. He's a great actor.
Mm,
But I was like, okay, how he's gonna do with the fight scenes? Because for me, when I heard his name, I was thinking, okay, Slumdog Millionaire. beautiful movie, great acting, perfect story. But then when I saw him move, when he came to rehearsal, I was like, okay, we have a chance at this because Dev can move and he understands how to sell the hits for the camera. He knows how to react. I was like, I was not even worried at all. From the first training when we met, I was like, my mind was at ease. I was like, we've got something going on here.
Yeah. And talking about acting, I noticed you obviously you've got your stunt reel. You've also got an acting reel. So is the
Yeah.
acting something you've always done, or does that become more important now because it means you can get bigger roles and kind of
The acting side, it really came by accident. Like I I started doing stunts, and I always would get like parts when I joined movies
mm,
because maybe I have the right look, maybe I have like a certain like presence for bad guy roles or something like this. So I would always get like physical roles, and for example, I did like a movie called Vanguard where I played the main bad guy against Jackie Chan. I did the Boyka Undisputed where I played the bad guy against Scott Adkins. I've done Ganapat as well where I played the bad guy against Tiger Shroff. And I just during COVID, I did Customs Frontline, where I played the main bad guy against Nicolas Tsi. And I did another one a few months ago, opposite Marcos Aurora, where I play the bad guy as well. So
mm,
it's something that I kind of like. It's a small garden that I have on the side of the fight coordinating career that I have,
mm,
uh, because I'm just thinking, why not? Why just limit myself doing one thing where I can do multiple things. So if I join a project and I see the right acting part suitable for me, I join it.
mm.
But yeah, that's something that basically uh, is on the side. It's like a small garden that I'm cultivating.
Yeah. And talking of those people, so I've seen clips of you with Jackie Chan, Jason Statham, Donnie Yen, all these big names. Do you ever get
Yeah.
starstruck with those people?
Not anymore, man. When I started first, yeah, I would be like completely like a fanboy.
Hmm.
Then, I mean, with the age and like being used to being on set and all that, it became something like a kind of like a natural to me to see these guys.
Mm.
And I think that's also a sign that says like, okay, you're kind of like becoming more mature, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So looking at if you were to give yourself some advice at the beginning of your career, knowing what you know now, what would you say to yourself?
I would say to myself like to not stress too much and to just like not really think so much about when it's going to happen. Just enjoy the journey more. Don't get frustrated when things don't go your way. uh, don't get pissed off at people when they do something wrong to you, or they basically like gossip about you or something like this. It's
Mm,
nothing to be very serious about. And your time will come. It will just come. You just need, basically, in this industry, you just need to basically put in the work, and at some point someone is going to see your work and is going to acknowledge it. And I believe, sometime, like when you start, you tend to really like try to push a bit too much and kind of like almost become a bit of a liability for yourself and other people, because like you kind of like try to push this agenda on social media that you're the best and you're really really the next big thing in town, and that can sometimes play against you
mm,
with people. So I would say that I would tell myself to just be more calm and to just appreciate the journey. And also I would also take more time into looking at the big name actors that I worked with, and kind of like look how they behave on set and how they deliver the acting and all that. That would be
mm.
something that would I would have put more time into that in the past.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And I'm not particularly sporty, I'll admit that. Uh, have you ever been in a real fight? And does it bear any semblance to fighting on screen, or is it a completely
No,
different animal?
no, it's not, man. Like I've been in a couple of real fights, and it's not at all like anything like movies. A real fight is quick and ugly,
Hmm.
and it's something like, like, first of all, you have so much adrenaline and your heart is pounding that I would say maybe 60% of your abilities, they completely disappear. So
Mm.
you rely on like a primal instinct, which is maybe grabbing someone and like, or like punching. Like there's none of this. I'm gonna do a side kick, triple backflip, land on the guy, and then
Yeah.
like look at the camera. That's not gonna happen, man. Like you just, it's mostly like you have so much blood going in, like you just get so tensed, and it's like I being in a real fight, it's like it's completely different, man. And
Mm.
no, like
Oh,
totally different.
yeah. 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 No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try either, but I thought I'd ask.
Oh,
Um,
don't try. No, I'm not trying either myself. That's
yeah.
it. That was
Yeah.
when I was young.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say was you've got a young family,
Yep,
and your partner's also into fighting and action and acting. So what's
that's
that
right.
like having a young family and doing this kind of work?
Well, basically the great thing about this is my wife understands my line of work.
Mm.
It can be a bit challenging because my son is only 6 months and a half,
Hmm.
and um, it can be hard for my wife at first because I have to leave sometime. Luckily, I since my kid is born, I had work, but it's been only like stuff that are not too long. But
Hmm.
right now, with the movie coming out, I've been getting so many offers from different productions since Monkey Man trailers released. So I would say that the big challenge is mostly going away for a long time and not seeing your family. But my wife understands this. That's the good luck that I have because she's a stunt performer herself, and we actually met on a movie.
All
So
right.
she understands. We met in Hungary
Mm.
on the movie there, and yeah, she understands basically the whole thing of like I have to leave to make a living. So that's helpful for me. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. No, that sounds good. And also, is there anyone you'd really like to work with, or have you got a dream role in mind you'd like to do?
If I have a dream role in mind, that would be something that is not involving a single kick or punch,
Oh,
like
really?
straight drama. If I
Yeah.
can pull that off, be in a movie where I'm never gonna throw a punch or a kick, that would be like one of the biggest accomplishments in my life. Because then that means that I carried myself through the movie
Mm.
thanks to my acting abilities, not just my fighting abilities. Working in terms of working with someone. I've met Tony Jaa, but I've never worked with him. That would be someone I would like to work with. And also someone like I would say um, in the Chinese market, I would say Wu Jing. I really like Wu Jing as well. He did Wolf Warrior 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Someone like that, I'd be very pleased to work with. But yeah, Tony Jaa would be someone that I would appreciate because, first of all, he is a Thai actor. I can speak Thai fluently, so I think it would be great working with him. We would understand each other's. And yeah, I believe I could do something great for him because um, I have a lot of connections in Thailand. So, like, we will do something great and unique if I worked with Tony Jaa. I hope one day it can happen.
Yeah, me too. I hope that happens. Um, so the other thing I was going to ask you was, have you got a favorite action film?
It depends in terms of martial arts or straight up action.
Well, you can give me both. Let's have both. So martial arts,
For martial arts, I would say Drunken Master 2.
right?
Okay. And for action, I like Heat
He.
with
Oh, okay.
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. That whole sequence after the bank robbery, when they have
Mm.
that shootout, that's like that's like my favorite scene of all time. There's
Really?
no music, just you hear the machine guns going. It's perfectly done. That's probably the best uh, gun sequence I ever saw in
Mm.
my life. I mean, it. And if you tell me like sci-fi action, I would say Predator.
Predator, good choice, good choice. And
Yes,
what I haven't seen Drunken Master 3. What is special
two.
about 2? Sorry, what is special about that movie?
What's special about that movie is like the whole ending sequence, the whole fight scene between. You never saw it?
I haven't. I will now. I promise you, I'll check it out.
You've got to watch it because like the whole sequence at the end, you've got this guy called Ken Lo, and he's doing like this whole thing with his legs. He's fighting with Jackie. One Jackie's doing the drunken boxing, and Ken Lo is doing like all this taekwondo kicking, and the way it's choreographed, and the whole sequence took like 3 months to shoot just
Mm.
for the ending scene. So that movie is like kind of like right here for
Yeah,
martial art movies. So I would say that one is like my favorite because like you've got to watch it to understand.
yeah. And the last thing I was going to ask you about is injuries. Have you had them? And I'm assuming it's common in your line of work to get injured.
Yes, I had a couple of injuries, yes, but I'm lucky nothing serious. I had like I don't know, maybe it's serious for you, but for me, I think it's kindergarten stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I had like uh, dislocated shoulder.
Right.
Okay, two
Yeah.
times. I broke my ACL on my left knee.
Yeah.
I twisted both of my ankles
Mm.
multiple times. I have back problems on my lower back, like over the years, it's coming and it's going.
Mm.
If I don't do squats, it's uh, it's coming back. My left hamstring has calcium, like there's calcium deposit in my left hamstring.
Yeah.
I also have the same problem on my right hamstring. I'm having also my meniscus is completely, I think it's already gone. I
Mm.
don't think it's there anymore. So yeah, I had like, and then I had like a couple of stuff like, uh, like, like dislocated maybe like fingers a little bit or like, cuts on the hands and
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that. I had also some crashes sometime on some films sometime where I hit my head a couple of times. Uh, but that's nothing as serious as, let's say, like losing a limb
Mm.
or like getting paralyzed or something like this. So I'm very blessed that I touch wood. I had some close calls, but
Yeah.
I touch wood that nothing like this happened to me.
Yeah. And is there an age? Is there an age when you're like, when I get to that age, I'm just choreographing, I'm not doing any more fighting, or are you just gonna see how it goes?
Right now, I feel my body is holding up very well. I'm only 39 years old.
Hmm.
I, in terms of fight scenes, I can perform everything in fight scene and all that. But I would say like doing stunts like what I used to do, like for example, like doing backflip falls in a stair or like getting like tossed around by a wire. And I think those days are completely gone from me. Like
Mm.
I haven't done that in ages, to be honest. Uh, but as far as doing fight scenes, that's something I can do for many, many years. So I would see how my body holds up. But so far, I feel great. I feel in very, very good shape. But I wouldn't push it until I wouldn't do stunts until I'm 50 years old or something like this. I don't think
Mm.
that's good on the body.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you want more advice from industry professionals who are out there at the moment working, or you just want to listen to some cool stories from film sets from around the world, then please do subscribe.